No video.
Okay.
So Ashvin Kumar, this is your fourth film.
No, my eighth film.
Eighth film, but fourth on Kashmir.
Fourth on Kashmir. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 on Kashmir. Yes.
Four on Kashmir. And your background is?
My background is I have been a filmmaker since 2004 or 5, I think. I made my first film with Irfan, it was Road to Ladakh, which is actually my film school. Then I was nominated for an Academy Award for my short film Little Terrorist. Then I made Forest, which is a thriller, ecological sort of thriller. Then I discovered Kashmir and I started my work in Kashmir.
And out of your 8, how many are documentaries?
2.
2. What's been the response to this one? Beautifully made.
Thank you so much. The response has been phenomenal. I mean, really, it's where whoever's been able to see it. It's not available widely.
I see.
But whoever has been able to see it, I think comes away quite touched and informed about what's happening in Kashmir. At least informed enough to want to know more.
But as your movie suggests, it's quite a nuanced story and it's very complicated and there are many different versions to it. And every version has an element of truth.
Yeah.
So is a feature film the best way of telling the story?
Well, that's the only way I know.
Okay.
I'm sure there are other people who can tell it via novels and I don't know.
Documentary.
Documentary. As you know, I've done 2 documentaries of Kashmir.
Yeah.
In Kashmir.
What are they about basically? That is.
Inshallah, football is a story of this kid, 18-year-old kid who's a footballer. He gets a scholarship to go to Brazil, and then he's not able to get a passport. And he realizes the reason for that is that his father was an ex-militant, was a militant actually. And through the
true story, yeah.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
Okay.
So, and actually, in fact, while we're filming, the fact that we are filming appears in a paper, in a newspaper, the Indian Express, and the Chief Minister reads that article and makes sure that the passport comes. So all this is happening while I'm filming, which is very fortuitous.
I see.
It doesn't normally work like that.
You were telling us about how difficult just the circumstances were to shoot this film.
That's right.
Will you mind repeating it briefly? The fundraising and the demonetization and everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, when we started shooting, it was 2016. It took me about 3-4 years to write the script because there was so much to tell. And then when we started raising funds, it was difficult to raise funds for a movie set in Kashmir, and so I went for crowdfunding. And so just as we had raised,
which is promising to a certain extent.
Well, it's promising in the sense that we managed to raise
a
significant amount of money on crowdfunding, which is great. But then Brexit happened. Immediately after that, crowdfunding was closed, and we lost 20% of our budget there because of the devaluation of the pound.
Oh gosh!
And then the next thing is that when we went to Kashmir to shoot in May, which is supposed to be the date of shoot, Burhan Wani was killed.
Yeah.
And the Kashmir went into full lockdown for the next 6 months. And every week we were told it's going to open. So we couldn't even let the crew go.
Okay.
So we lost a considerable amount of budget there. And finally, when we got to shoot in November, we realized that the film was written for a summer shoot, which has got 12 hours of daylight, or at least 10 hours of daylight. Yeah. But now we had less than 4-5 hours. So that was a big challenge, how to do it. But that was all surmountable. But the one that really killed us was the demonetization. Literally 6 days into our shoot, demonetization happened, and we were sitting 9 hours away from the closest railhead or the airport, and there was
no money and nothing.
There was no money. There was no all the cash we had was absolutely
worthless.
Yeah, and there was no way to get more cash.
Correct.
As you know,
the banks were clogged.
Yeah, banks were clogged. People were queuing. So we don't know what to do. You see, and as a result, there were a lot of things that happened. But these are part of filmmaking.
Yeah. So last question, what happens to alternative films and documentaries in India? So many stories, so many good, filmmakers, but small audiences and difficult to...
No, I don't think the audiences are small actually. I think the audiences are quite significant.
Okay.
It's the people who control the dissemination.
I see.
Are not allowing films
that point of view
to come out.
Okay.
I don't think it's a stand in terms of a point of view. It's just the way they are used to looking at films.
Marketing certain brands of films that come from certain circuits.
And also there are certain monopolies that are already in place, you see. So those are all get violated when independent cinema comes in and starts attracting big audiences, which we will if we are given half a
I
chance.
see.
I mean, if we were allowed, if let's say OTT platforms were to say, okay, 10% of the programming or 15% of our programming is going to be only independent cinema, and it's going to be totally meritocratic, I think it would change a lot of things. But they don't take that call because I don't know what it is. It's perhaps
Is Goa creative enough for you, or what are problems you face here
Goa. I don't face any problems in Goa. Goa's fantastic.
in
I
terms
mean,
of infrastructure
I've been living
or
in Goa for the last 10 years, 12 years now,
no problem.
and I made all my films from here. I made Inshallah Kashmir, Inshallah Football, No Fathers in Kashmir, Four Daughters in Kashmir, and the new one that I'm going to be
I see.
shooting now is a Goan film. Actually, it's a comedy set in Goa about my dog Feni and me, and
Called tentatively called.
it's called Feni.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but no problems of not being in a big city and not being close to
No, no,
markets.
no. I
And
don't
no.
want to be in a big city.
Creativity wise, it's okay.
No, no. Creativity wise is more than okay. In fact, the big city is too distracting. There's too much too many people talking.
Thank you for that.